And so we were gaining on the boat, but we were not gaining fast. But that was my first real prayer, and it was my first real thank you. We did a lot of fishing, a lot of saltwater fishing, and so we had a boat, a little bitty boat, 19 foot, just big enough to get in trouble. And I had convinced one of my buddies to go fishing with me. We were going skin diving. He was a lifeguard, and so he was a good swimmer, but he had never spent much time in the ocean. We went out, like I say, maybe 10, 15 miles, and when I set the anchor on the boat, you set the anchor and you give it a tug to make sure that it's firm. And I got in the water. We swam maybe, 40, 50 feet. And then we were doing some skin diving, which takes a bit of effort. It wears you out a little bit, and we paid no attention to the boat. We were probably an hour in the water, and I noticed that my buddy was pretty blue. His lips were pretty cold. So I said, you know what, we better go back. Let's get back to the boat. So I kicked up good and hard, and sure enough, I could see the boat, and it was way on out there. The boat is a long ways away, and it's in the current. It's getting further every minute. We started going, and so at that point, we had determined that we have to swim, and we have to swim pretty hard. We just weren't gaining on the boat because it was going nearly as fast as we were. But I just wasn't sinking. I just didn't realize how much the Lord was willing to help. So my buddy said, we need to pray. And it was like, that's a good idea. I wish we'd have thought of that sooner. Because this was the first time that my life was really in danger. He prayed, and then I prayed. Well, I was pretty serious, but I don't feel a lot different. And so I said, I remember asking him, do you think that worked? He said, well, it's the most, he says, it's the scariest I've ever been in my life, and I have never prayed that hard ever. So if it's going to work, this is it. I said, okay, well, let's go. So then we kicked, and we felt a little bit of vigor and a little bit of, optimism, maybe, and we kept it going, and it was maybe 10 minutes, and I kicked up on a wave, and the boat was close. And it was closer than it had ever been, and it was too close. Something was different. So I don't know whether we caught, a coast, a current that moved us towards the boat, or whether the boat came to us, but one of the two happened. And it came to a point where all of a sudden we had hope, because we could see it, and it had tripled or quadrupled in size. When you see it on the water, it's a little teeny speck. And we had been kicking for it, and we had seen it get bigger, but not very much. And all of a sudden, 10 minutes after our prayer, it was large enough that we had hope. And so all of a sudden, we kicked hard for the boat, and my buddy made it. He said, you know what? He said, we've just been spared, and we probably ought to say another prayer of thanks. And so it was also the first time I'd ever... it was the first time I'd ever actually thanked my God, who had just saved my life.